Blog Talk Radio.
You're listening to the Lina-Jones Diamond Network Show. This is the place where you and your business are the stars. Now welcome your host, Lina-Jones.
Hello. Good evening, Diamonds. Welcome to my evening show. It's so good to be here with you this evening. I feel like I haven't said anything to you in a while. I feel like I haven't spoke to you in a while. I don't know why. Friday just seems so far away. Maybe it's because I did so much in these little 2 days that I had. It just all seems like that I've been away for a long time. But I haven't. I've been right here with you guys, working on my sound. There I am. I think I'm better. I'm better now. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Good. Welcome to Coffee Talk. This is my Coffee Talk edition of the Lina-Jones Diamond Network show. This is where I get a chance to talk to you about stuff. I do this, I try to do it every month, but it doesn't really work out that way. I'm messing around with my background music right now. But it doesn't really work out as well as I want it to work out. So some months I do it, some months I don't. And this just happened to be one of the months that I was able to put in my Coffee Talk show. And this month happens to be about April, the month of awareness. And I'm talking about anxiety, something that I personally deal with myself on. I don't deal with it on an everyday level, but I'm telling you, it comes in like a freight train. It comes in like a freight train. I was reading this article about how it attacks you like an anaconda type attack, and that was really, really close. That was a close thing. I like that comparison because I think that was a good thing. But my music tonight is mellow tone, and they have just that, a mellow tone. And they have some of their music is can be a little bit low. Can be a little bit low. But for the most part, I love their song sounds. I love their beat. So before we get started, I'm going to start out with Keep Your Head Up High because I got some things I need to do. So I'm going to do them right quick, but listen to Mellow Tone. This one is Keep Your Head Up High, and I think that's a good subject because we tend to mix in anxiety and depression all in the same time, and we're going to talk about the difference between the two, and I'm going to tell you about my latest anxiety attack and all that good stuff coming up right after we listen to Mellow Tone with Keep Your Head Up High. I'll be right back. Stay with me, all right? Good thing.
Waking up, my head a big mess. I put on my casual dress. I feel alone. I'm petrified like a stone. I keep hearing this voice. Keep your head up high and try to climb. Be proud of things you did. Life is a great trip. Don't be shy, don't be afraid. Go your own way. melatonin. No, we'll never be alone. Keep going on, keep going on. Stare at the sky. No, we'll never be alone. Keep going on and cry, 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 cry.
Keep your head up high and try to find the sound of things you did. Life is a great thing. Keep your head up high and try to find the sound of things you did. Life is a great thing. Don't be shy, don't be afraid. Go your own way. Go your own way. All right, that was Mellow-Tone and their song, Keep Your Head Up High. And that's what you have to do. Now, to tell you about an episode that I went through with anxiety just a couple of weeks ago. I was going to see a show at the TCC campus in Norfolk. So I had to get on the freeway, and I'm driving on the freeway, and I'm with my daughter because she likes shows and things of this sort. And she was a little bit depressed. So I said, well, you know what? I think what'll cheer you up is a play. You'll like this play. So I said, I had never seen the play before. But so I put in my GPS and we're headed. And in Norfolk, they have built a couple of new bridges. You know, this new construction of the roads and stuff is going on seriously here in Virginia. Everything is like getting fixed up and built. But they're building these high bridges. My anxieties are heights, tunnels, claustrophobia, things like that. Those are my anxieties. They don't come all the time, but when they do come, they hit me like a freight train. So I had no idea that one of these high bridges was going to be on the way to the TCC campus. So I'm driving up, and as I'm going, as the road is curving, I get a glance of the bridge from the side, and I see how high it is. And there it was, anxiety hit me like a freight train. I was looking for both sides, and I was telling my daughter, do you see that bridge? Do you see that bridge? And she just kept saying, what bridge? She didn't see a bridge. And I'm like, it's a bridge right there. I know I'm not seeing anything. I know I'm not seeing things, but this is a really, really, really tall bridge. So I'm looking because I'm ready to go on the side of the road to just tell her, look, we need to switch, but I'm in the middle, and there's cars around. And my heart is palpitating and I'm sweating. It was really bad. And because in my mind, we're going to fly off this bridge. No doubt. We're going to fly off this bridge by my hand because I'm not going to have control over the steering wheel. That's all I could think of. So she's just like, just calm down, you can do this. I had no other choice but to do it. And so I gripped that steering wheel real tight. And I didn't look to the left, and I didn't look to the right. I just focused, and I said a small prayer. I was like, Lord, just help me. Just help me to get over this bridge because I know I could do this. It's the anxiety that just hit me. I did it. It was a short one. It wasn't the long. I thought it was the long one. No, it was the short one. I don't even know the name of the bridge or what it was. But, man, it hit me, and I hadn't had an anxiety attack in a while. And it lets you know, it kind of reminds you that it's just still there, even if you don't experience it. Now, with me, a few years back, I had it quite constant. And I chose, first I chose medication. And then once the medication was gone, I wasn't feeling myself when the medication got out of my system. I wasn't feeling myself, and I did not like the way it made me feel. So I decided that I was not going to be dependent on any type of medications for this thing because, I'm bigger than this, and I serve a God that's bigger than this. So I chose prayer. I really did. I chose prayer over medication, and I have been able to handle it. I mean, and there's times where it hits me like a freight train, and but those times I do have to focus, meditate and focus. But my favorite thing parable in the Bible that got me to focus more on prayer was this one in Luke 25, and it starts with, and which of you by worrying can add 1 cubit to his stature? If you then are not able to do the least, why are you anxious for rest? Consider the lilies, how they grow. They neither toil nor spin, and yet I say to you, even Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. If then God is so clothed, if then God so clothes the grass, which today is in the field and tomorrow is thrown in the oven, how much more will he clothe you, O ye of little faith? And do not seek what you should eat or you should drink, nor have any anxious mind. For all these things are nations, for all these things the nations of the world seek after, and your Father knows you need these things. But seek the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added to you. But that parable about not worrying is why I chose prayer. And you know what? It works for me. Some people are not as strong believers, and I'm not saying I'm a very strong believer. I have to work at this every day, just like any other person does. But let's see. To introduce you to anxiety, in case you're not sure what it is, anxiety is a related disorder. Your fear to worry does not go away, and it can get worse over time. It can influence your life and extend to the extent that it can interfere with your daily activities like school, work, and other relationships. Fear, stress, and anxiety are normal feelings and experiences that everybody goes through, but they're completely different than suffering from other diagnosis orders. Now, this article says the 7 diagnosable disorders plus substance-induced anxiety, obsessive compulsive disorders like trauma or stress disorder related. They're saying it's completely different. And I didn't know that there was an association in America for the anxiety and depression, but there is. It's called the ADAA, Anxiety and Depression Association of America. It's actually one that does that. Now, if you don't know the difference, they're usually associated with each other, anxiety and depression. If you don't know the difference, here's the difference. For those that don't know, some of us you automatically know anxiety is just something that's just blowing you off the top. Depression is completely different. So here's an article that talks about how they differ in what they do, okay? It says depression and anxiety are common disorders often confused with each other, but the two couldn't be more different. So why is the pair so regularly mixed up? They're frequently treated in the same manner, and according to a study, 85% of those with major depression were also diagnosed generally with anxiety disorder. That's what they did to me. They said, well, you're depressed. Like, I'm not depressed, though. I wasn't depressed. I didn't feel depressed. I had nothing to be depressed over. Mine was anxiety. So here it says they usually mix them up together. People with the biological disorder of depression often feel emotions of hopelessness, despair, and anger, which impairs to the completion of daily tasks. However, when someone is impacted by an anxiety disorder, they experience overwhelming fear and panic, similar to any creature fighting for its life in the wild. That is anxiety in a nutshell. This the one about hopelessness, despair, and anger, I wasn't feeling that. I was feeling overwhelming desire to fight for my survival. My survival meaning my breath. Just cuts off, like that. It says a person who primarily suffers from anxiety will focus on future prospects and become overwhelmed with fear that everything will turn out badly. These feelings can restrict a person's ability to work, maintain relationships, or leave the house. Comparatively,